question I've had for a while is, why is Portuguese chicken such a big thing in the city?
That's Montrealer Jatha Sowen. He moved here from Toronto about 5 years ago.
Like, we have Ramato's and Montreal, which are both very notable chains, and I cannot figure out for the right life of me why. I'm so happy it's here, I just don't know why.
All right, here we go. Hey Montreal, I'm Ainsley McClellan, the host of a new CBC podcast, Good Question Montreal. And this week we're delving into the history of a spicy, savory dish that's a big part of the culinary fabric of the city. I'm talking about Portuguese chicken and why Montrealers love it. So it all starts with the city's Portuguese community. There were many Portuguese people in Canada before the 1950s, but a 1952 agreement between Canada and Portugal launched a larger wave of immigration in the 50s and 60s. The country was under Antonio de Oliveira Salazar's authoritarian Estado Novo regime. So thousands of Portuguese immigrants set out in search of a better life, including here in Montreal. If you look at the last census, there are just over 50,000 people in the greater Montreal area who have Portuguese roots. Initially, many of these new arrivals landed on the Main. You can see the influence in the area, the colorful tiles, the art, parks, festivals, and the restaurants. To get to the heart of Montreal's piri-piri passion, you have to start with the Castanheira family. Francisco Castanheira came to Montreal during Expo 67, and he loved the city so much he brought his family over 2 years later. He started selling rotisserie chicken, not yet in his own restaurant, but at the Old Warsaw supermarket.
He said, I'm willing to offer my services to cook the chicken and do the best chickens you ever had, as long as you allow me to do my sauce.
The family's first restaurant was Castanheira de Ribatejo at the corner of de Bullion and Napoleon in 1970. Then came several more, including Rotisserie Cocorico on Saint Laurent and Jano just a few doors down. They started growing in popularity, including with Portuguese immigrants. As the size of the Montreal Portuguese community grew, so too did the demand for a taste of back home. And what sets it apart from other chicken is the seasoning.
The spices, it's a mystery somehow, because there's spices that come from Angola, from Africa, and some spices come from India. It seems to be very easy to cook a chicken, but it's not that easy. There's passion in what you do.
Yeah. Montreal's love affair with Portuguese chicken is a mix of craving comfort food in the depths of winter, people eager to learn more about another culture's cuisine, and because no matter where you're from, that spicy kick and nostalgia make you feel like you're home. So the story of Portuguese chicken is really the story of how Montreal is connected to the wider world and how so much had to happen in order for it to arrive on our plates. If you want to hear the full story of Montreal's Portuguese chicken obsession, check out Good Question Montreal wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to subscribe while you're there. And if you have a question you want us to look into, send it to cbc.ca/goodquestionmontreal.